You spent 2 years at HCC. You talked about the discipline that you had working while you were injured, working on your game, getting better. You ended up going D1, signing to play at Qunnipiac. Talk to me about your recruiting process coming out of JUCO and what made you choose Qunnipiac.
Yeah. Like I had mentioned earlier, when I was hurt and I got a taste of that coaching stuff, I knew that's when I found a niche and that I really, really wanted to be a coach. And so I started tailoring my recruitment in such a way that I wanted to set myself up to be in this coaching world. So, I had my recruitment was not ideal, to be quite honest with you. I had an offer after the season to go to Bethune-Cookman. And it's funny, I took a visit and I liked it. I love Bethune, I love the HBCU vibe and everything. But something just didn't feel right. It's just when you don't know, when you feel it, when you're at the school you're supposed to be at, you just know. And so I took the visit and ended up going to the JUCO All-American Showcase out in Dallas, and played about 3 games, and I played really well, honestly. And Coach Moore was there. My head coach at Qunnipiac was there and saw me, and they recruited me. My recruitment lasted about 2 weeks. And the craziest thing about it was, and again, this is just God being God. Like, Bethune-Cookman sent me my NLI on a Monday, and Qunnipiac hadn't offered me yet. And it became a Wednesday when the NLI was going to be nulled by, it was like 5 o'clock on a Wednesday that it would be expired. And I called one of the assistants who was recruiting me, Coach Eric Eden. And I had told him, I was like, look, if you guys aren't going to offer, it's okay. Like, I understand, but I have this offer on the table and I'm about to lose it. And Coach was like, hold on, let me call Coach Moore and see. And Coach Moore was literally on a connecting flight, 10 minutes between his connecting flight. And Coach was able to get on the phone with him. Was like, hey, what do you want to do with this kid? And they offered me on the spot right then and there. And then I was able to go on a visit to Qunnipiac and commit it. But like, those circumstances don't always happen. Like, that's just God being God, and just him opening up another door, because he knows where I'm supposed to be and what I enjoy and where I wanted to be and where I can be and where I can touch other people. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I went to Qunnipiac, honestly, is because I knew I wanted to get into coaching. And Coach Moore, he was a UConn guy. He was an assistant on Jim Calhoun. And I did my research, and I was like, these guys, their whole staff was connected in the coaching world. They were well known in the coaching world, especially in the Northeast. And that's really why I picked it, to be honest with you. And I wanted to get into coaching, and, facilities were great, and the coaches were great, but I wanted to get into coaching, and that's how my recruitment went. And I basically told Coach Moore when I was on the visit, I was like, I want to get into coaching. So I'll come play for you. I'll play my heart out for you. I'll do whatever you want. But when I graduate, all I need is just help me get the door. And he did that, and just took that opportunity and ran.
What were you able to accomplish there at Qunnipiac, and what was it like adjusting to that level coming from junior college?
Oh, it was a big time adjustment. I'm not the most athletic, and those guys at that level are crazy athletic. But it's mostly the time demand, to be honest with you. We went starting June. I remember June 4th. Actually, we went July 4th was when I got to Qunnipiac, and it was that summer grind of weightlifting, workouts, and then I stayed, those a week going into the school year, and you're talking about like weightlifting classes. At that level, you got different interviews and community service. Like, your time management had to be on point, and that was the biggest thing that I learned. But from a basketball perspective, it was just about staying the course for me, and just getting more athletic. And they recruited me there to be a shooter, to be honest with you. Like, I shot the ball at a high clip, and that's what I went to go do. And it was for me, my junior year, and I don't really tell a lot of people this, but like my first two scrimmages, I didn't play. Like, didn't sniff the floor at all because I knew I was behind, and I was pissed. But it's because it's the first time I've never not played, and like I'm sitting the bench. But I was like, man, like this is on me. Like I have to be better. And I remember after that scrimmage, I was in the gym every single day, just working on my shot. I knew that's what I came here to do. So I knew I could shoot. If I could shoot and make shots, I'd eventually get on the floor. And I remember even the first day of practice, I got kicked out because I wasn't talking, I wasn't bringing energy. I'm like, dang, like this stuff is hard. Like I'm over here trying my best, I'm breathing hard, and yet you screaming at me and kicking me out of practice because I'm not talking on defense, you know? And so, and honestly, you know me, that's where I get the talking from. But it was just such a different level. And back to my story about not playing, again, it was just about being ready and taking advantage of the opportunity. Our first game, two of the guards didn't play well. They were turning the ball over, couldn't shoot, couldn't make a shot. Coach just threw me in, and I was prepared. Like I hit a couple of shots. Had like 14 points, hit like 3 threes. It was a close game, ended up losing, but that was my opportunity. And the next game, I played the same thing, hit a couple threes. By game 3, I was starting because I was just ready, and I was able to start the rest of my junior year. I didn't shoot the ball as great my senior year, but I still had fun and just to put that work in. And it was fun, and I enjoyed it. Our teams weren't great. We weren't great from a record perspective, but some of those guys that I met were such good dudes, man. And the guys that I'm really close with are really successful right now. One's playing overseas. Two of the twins had their own like social media and journalist websites, and one's playing overseas. And then one of my other friends on the team is getting married and is coaching. So it was, I wouldn't trade it for the world, to be honest with you. And it was just so much fun. And like I said, it was a lot of work and it was a big time adjustment. But that at that level, to be honest with you, it's just about, are you going to put the time and work in? And honestly, at any level, are you just going to put the time and work in and just get better at your craft and be ready when your numbers call and take advantage of the opportunity?